Imagine for a moment that you are sitting in the safety of your own home. It is the one place where you feel secure, the sanctuary where the chaos of the outside world cannot touch you. You are relaxed, perhaps reflecting on the long years of struggle you have endured, the battles you have fought, and the burdens you have carried. Suddenly, without a knock, without a sound, and without an invitation, a stranger stands before you. He is not just any stranger. There is a heaviness in the air, a chilling presence that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. He looks like a man, but his intent feels incredibly final. He looks you in the eye and tells you that your time is up. He tells you that you must leave everything you have built, everyone you love, and walk into the unknown right this second. How would you react? Would you go quietly? Or would the warrior within you, the instinct to survive, rise up and fight back? This is not a hypothetical scenario. This is the incredible, heart-stopping reality that unfolded in the life of one of the greatest men to ever walk the earth. We are talking about a man who stood tall against tyrants, a man who spoke directly to the creator of the heavens and the earth, a man whose strength was legendary. We are talking about Musa, alayhi salam. But there is a story about him that often leaves people confused, shocked, and asking deep questions. It is the story of the day the angel of death came for him, and instead of submitting instantly, Musa, alayhi salam, struck him. Yes, you heard that correctly. The prophet of God slapped the angel of death. But why? Was it fear? Was it arrogance? Or was there a secret behind this incident that unlocks a profound lesson about life, death, and the reality of the human soul? Welcome to the Deen Insight, where today we journey back in time to uncover the truth behind this shocking encounter and discover what it means for your own final moment. To truly understand the weight of this moment, we must first look at the man himself. Prophet Musa was not a man of weak constitution. He was the one who walked into the court of Pharaoh, the greatest tyrant of his time, and looked him in the eye without flinching. He was the one who struck the sea with his staff, splitting the ocean in two by the permission of Allah. He was a man of immense physical strength and intense emotion. Remember, this is the same prophet who, years prior, had accidentally ended a man's life with a single punch in Egypt when trying to break up a fight. His reflex was powerful, and his instinct for justice and defense was sharp. He had spent his entire life fighting for the freedom of the Israelites, fighting against the idolatry of his people, and fighting the harshness of the desert. He was a survivor. So picture the scene. The mission is nearing its end. The children of Israel are wandering, and Musa is in his tent. Suddenly, a figure appears. We know from the authentic narrations in Sahih Al-Bukhari and Muslim that the angel of death, known in tradition as Azrael, was sent to Musa in the form of a human being. This is the crucial detail that changes everything. The angel did not come in his celestial, terrifying form of light and wings. He came appearing as a man, an intruder in the prophet's private space. The stranger looked at Musa and said, "Answer the call of your Lord." To the angel, this was a divine command, but to Musa, seeing only a human intruder demanding his life, it appeared as an assault. What happens next is a testament to the raw human nature of the prophets. Musa did not hesitate. Reacting to what he perceived as a threat, a stranger claiming to take his soul, he struck the man. It was a slap of such intensity that it damaged the eye of the figure standing before him. The figure vanished. This was not an act of defiance against Allah. If Musa had known with certainty that this was the angel of death sent by Allah, he would never have raised his hand, for a prophet does not disobey his Lord. But this was a test of the seen and the unseen. It was a reaction to a disruption, a defense of his sanctity. The angel returned to Allah, the Almighty, and said, "You sent me to a slave who does not want to die." Pause here and ask yourself, have you ever wondered why death is so terrifying, even for the righteous? It is because the soul is attached to the body and the instinct to preserve life is placed in us by Allah. Even the angel of death, who has taken the souls of kings, paupers, and tyrants, was taken aback by the strength of this prophet. Allah, in His infinite wisdom and mercy, did not punish Musa. He did not send down thunder or lightning. Instead, He restored the eye of the angel and sent him back, but this time with a message that would shatter the illusion of the intruder and reveal the divine reality. This second encounter would not be about physical strength, it would be about the ultimate submission of the heart. The angel returned to Musa, but the dynamic had shifted. The veil was lifted. Now Musa understood that this was no ordinary man. This was the inevitable decree of Allah standing at his door. The angel conveyed a specific command from Allah. Put your hand on the back of an ox, and for every hair that your hand covers, you will be granted 1 year of life. Imagine that offer. An ox has thousands upon thousands of hairs. If you place your hand on its back, you could be granting yourself decades, perhaps centuries of life. For a man who had suffered so much, who had carried the burden of leadership, this was a chance to rest, to live, to see the world change. It was a test of attachment. Did Musa love the world? Did he want to cling to the temporary enjoyment of this life? This is where the story shifts from a physical confrontation to a spiritual masterpiece. Musa looked at the angel and asked one simple, trembling question. Then what? After those hundreds of years, after the hair of the ox is counted and the time runs out, what happens then? The angel replied, then death. The answer was absolute. There is no escaping it. Whether it is today or in 1,000 years, the door of the grave waits for everyone. Upon hearing this, the great prophet, the one who had slapped the intruder just moments before, showed his true rank. He did not bargain. He did not ask for the ox. He said, Fal-aan, then let it be now. If the death comes eventually, why delay the meeting with my Lord? Why delay the return to the most merciful? In that moment, the fear vanished, replaced by a longing for the divine. The slap was the reaction of a human defending his life. The acceptance was the reaction of a prophet submitting to his Lord. But he had one final request, a request that tears at the heart of every believer who understands the history of Islam. He asked Allah to let him die close to the Holy Land, just a stone's throw away. He did not ask to conquer it. He knew that was for the next generation. He just wanted to be close to the place Allah loved. Why is this story so critical for us, living in the modern world, scrolling through our phones, often forgetting the reality of our existence? Because we often live as if we are immortal. We build our homes like fortresses, just as the ancients did, thinking they will protect us. But when the angel of death comes to us, he will not come with an offer of an ox. He will not give us a choice to extend our contract. He will come suddenly. The story of Musa a.s. teaches us that death is not a punishment for the believer, it is a transition. It teaches us that even the strongest men, the ones who spoke to Allah, had to face the reality of mortality. There is a profound lesson here about the trials of faith. Sometimes things appear in our lives looking like intruders, calamities, losses, sudden changes. We fight them. We get angry. We ask, why is this happening? Just as Musa struck out in defense. But if we look closer, if we see with the eye of the heart, we realize that everything is from Allah. Even the hardships are messengers. Musa's initial reaction was human, but his final decision was the perfection of Iman, faith. He chose the nearness to Allah over the luxury of time. Think about your own life. If you were given the choice today, live 1,000 years in this world with all its pain and pleasure, or meet Allah tonight with the promise of His mercy, what would your heart truly desire?
It is a terrifying question, isn't it? It exposes our attachments. We are often so busy building our lives that we forget we are merely travelers. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ reminded us to be in this world as a stranger or a traveler. Musa a.s. embodied this. He fought for life when it was a duty, but he embraced death when it was his destiny. The scholars mention that Musa's request to be near the Holy Land was not for the sake of the land itself, but because it was the place of the prophets, the place where the mercy of Allah descends. He wanted his final resting place to be in the company of the righteous. Today, if you visit the Holy Lands, you are walking on the dust of these giants. But you don't need to travel to Palestine to be close to Allah. You can be close to Him right now in your room by submitting your will to Him, just as Musa did. As we conclude this journey on the Deen insight, let this story be a wake-up call, not of despair, but of preparation. The angel of death has visited every human being before us, and he is on his way to us. We do not know the hour. It could be while you are watching this video, or it could be years from now. But when he arrives, he will not be a stranger to the one who remembered Allah. To the believer, he will be a familiar friend, ushering you from the prison of this world to the gardens of eternity. Don't let the suddenness of the end frighten you into paralysis. Let it motivate you into action. Let the story of Musa a.s. remind you that while we naturally fear the end, the then what is what matters most. If the answer to then what is the meeting with your Lord who loves you, then let the heart find peace. Strive to live a life so sincere that when your time comes, you don't need to ask for more time. You can simply say, I am ready. May Allah grant us the wisdom of Musa a.s., the strength to face our trials, and a beautiful ending that pleases Him. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs this reminder. Until next time, keep your heart alive with the remembrance of the divine. This is the Deen Insight. Peace be upon you.